You are now listening to Wild Talk. Wild Talk is the podcast that discusses the LA Wildcats of the XFL and all Los Angeles sports. Produced by Alex Cauldron. With your hosts, Chris Rico and Gabriel Montoya. Boys, get talking.
Hey everybody, you're listening to Wild Talk. I am producer Alex, producer of this podcast, and we're here with the co-hosts Chris Rico and Gabriel Montoya.
What's up?
How's it going, man? That's right. Gabriel Montoya, Gabriel Montoya, whichever version is good.
Gabe, you killed my father.
Gabriel.
Prepare to die.
Montoya, Gabe.
Montoya.
I'm known by a lot of names.
Gabriel
So
Montoya.
this is the inaugural episode of Wild Talk. And we haven't even practiced, guy. No practice? We don't need any practice.
Nah, dude. Fuck that.
We talk about practice?
Straight up, we don't need it. I'm a Frank Vogel this shit. You guys are going to be AD and LeBron. We're going to learn as we go on the court.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Who's LeBron? And who's
That's a
AD?
good question.
Oh man, definitely.
I'm probably
Gabe.
older.
Yeah.
I'm probably older, so I'll take
dude,
it.
I think I'm older than you.
Who's taller? I mean, you guys are
I don't know.
I'm 6'2".
Oh, he's taller by like half an inch.
you guys are pretty tall brown kings. So
Half
you
an
know what I'm
inch
saying?
makes a
Brown
difference.
Kings right here, right
Tall brown kings.
We all are. This is we make a collection of the 3 tallest brownies in LA.
That's gonna be the. We're gonna go back in.
Because there's not very many tall brown dudes.
No.
We're gonna go back in time to '94, and we're gonna get a rap group called Tall Brown Kings.
Hey.
I like it.
Damn, the
I was at a
Brown
wedding
King.
last night. I was the tallest guy there.
Really?
Yeah. A bunch of shorties running around.
Dude, whenever I go to Mexico, I feel like a fucking giant.
Yeah, I hear you.
So, you know what? The funny thing is we don't know each other. I know Chris,
Yep.
and I know Gabe,
Mm.
and Chris and Gabe. So you know what? I'll start. Why don't we say a little bit about each other for the listeners or listener listeners? Yeah.
Hi,
so,
Mom.
So we have 3. So, anyways, I'm Alex Calderon. I'm the producer. I'm the creative director of Wild Talk, and also of a YouTube channel called First to Five. I also produce a podcast called Creative Roundup. Work in the film industry, and yeah, creative dude. So what you, Rico?
So Rico, work in finance, and I produce music on the side, and I'm a friend of Alex's. And now I am a podcast with Gabriel.
And no one cares more about pro football than this man right here.
Oh.
I wake up,
Recklessly speculating. Now I got no facts. I don't fact check for shit.
bro.
I watch PFF and like
All from the heart.
Yeah, and listen to the
Bro,
NFL podcast.
Like 2 days after Super Bowl, he's texting me, only 7,400 days to the draft, bro.
You're retweeting it mentally.
Yeah.
You read it. I read it somewhere. Well, my name is Gabriel Montoya with Gabe. I go by a lot of names, like I said. But I've had my own podcast for the last couple of years called The Soccer Scoreboard Show, where I talked about soccer globally. I cover the LA Galaxy for a website called LA Soccer Nation. I love sports. I love football. I love LA. So it seemed like the perfect marriage to me.
Yeah, there you go.
Perfect. So since we're trying to build chemistry here, so I'm gonna say a sport, and you guys tell me your favorite team or favorite player.
All right.
If it's a single person sport, you say your favorite player. If it's a team sport, say your favorite team, and then we'll see how much you guys agree.
Okay.
So what about baseball?
Dodgers.
Yeah, definitely the Dodgers.
Dodgers.
And don't think about it. Make it quick. Okay, hockey,
Kings.
Yeah.
basketball,
Lakers.
football.
Raiders.
Ravens. Go Lamar Jackson. Purple
Wildcats.
Pain. Yeah, Wildcats.
All right. XFL.
Wildcats.
That's actually the beauty of the Wildcats. It's funny, as I was driving down here, I saw the new stadium, the new Ram Stadium. And I was thinking to myself, like,
SoFi or whatever.
yeah, like, I'm not a fan of it. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. They're out here. But at least with the Wildcats, I'm like, there you go. Boom. Got it.
Yeah, I definitely feel that.
Yeah.
Unless we have like LA Extreme fans who were the old LA team.
To be honest with you, when the name first got announced, I was a little salty, but after it grew on me.
Because of that reason?
I wanted the Extreme back. Yeah, we're champions. LA is a championship team.
Nah, Wildcat sounds way better than Extreme, man.
Right, and we get to go. Row.
Yeah, it ain't like this. Like certain other teams have like some whack ass names.
And what did you say? A group of Wildcats?
It's called a Destruction.
A Destruction is a group of Wildcats. Like that is badass right there. I love that.
It's funny because the other day we were recording a preface to this podcast, and we were trying to end it because I kept saying peace, and then Rico was like, "Dude, we can't end it on peace." So I was like, "Should we just growl?" Like, at the end.
Actually, when we had the meeting with the Wildcats people, the front office, I wanted to tell them, like, you know how when the Niners score, they have that big bell.
Oh yeah.
And the Vikings, they have the horn. Mm-hmm. They should have one for the Wildcats when they score, like a big ass growl. You know what I mean?
It'd be awesome.
Right? I think you just rile up the fans.
They should.
Yeah.
They should. Definitely should.
I just couldn't get it in because
just like touchdown, Wildcats.
Which is a good segue to our first segment, XFL news. Insert sound effect here. XFL news. So I was looking up, and training camp is right around the corner. I think not next week, but the week after. I think it starts.
Yeah.
So by the way, we're gonna have to get out there to where are they training? Costa Mesa.
Yeah.
Long Beach?
I have my sneakers ready to get muddy.
I know we gotta get out there and catch some passes.
When is it this what?
I think it's next week, right? The week after.
Yeah, that's not this week. Oh, well, no, next week. The week after is Thanksgiving.
Okay, then I gotta check the dates when training camp starts. But next Friday is the supplemental draft. So I think supplemental draft is for players that are not on an NFL, are not on a pro football roster, or ended their season in whatever league they're in,
the AFL or the CFL or
and they weren't chosen in the inaugural draft. Mm-hmm. And I just found out 40 minutes ago that they don't have felonies.
Right. So apparently Vince McMahon, right, he started the league. He said that he didn't want people with felonies to play in the XFL. So that's a legitimate rule. But misdemeanors are okay. Hey. We know in football there's quite a bit of them walking around.
Myles Garrett just fucking blasting somebody in the head with his helmet.
But it is a second chance, and I think that's what XFL is hinging and hanging their hats on, as is it being a second chance league. And I think that's a really good thing to show these players that they have a soft landing spot. Yeah. Even though the NFL might not want them, or they might have a black scar on their record or something like that, it's a good soft landing spot.
It'd be interesting in the future when it's not like this, second chance, where it's an actual chance.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. When it's a first choice, like we were talking about before the show, it could be a first choice for some players coming out of college.
Yeah. Yeah. Or maybe even bypass college. Yeah. But we can get to that. That could be a topic for another day. But definitely something alternative to D1, maybe in the future.
What?
Like XFL. Go straight to XFL.
Oh, dude, I think it's gonna happen. Yeah. I think because if you're if you're a top 5-star recruit, you could probably make the the high scale tier 1.
Yeah, because what I noticed is in the inaugural draft, they bypassed a lot of some veteran ex NFL talent, and they kind of had like a youth movement. They went with a lot of young players.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because
youngish.
The players we're about to talk about, as far as the supplemental draft, they're not. None of them are young as at all.
So the supplemental draft takes place this Friday, November 22nd, and we kind of outlined some players that have some, I guess, decent names that are still out there available.
Yeah, recognizable. You played fantasy football for long enough in deep leagues. You should know some of these names.
All right, so I'll read out the name, and you guys tell me what you think. So somebody who played in my team, the Tennessee Titans, wide receiver Kendall Wright, which I thought he was a decent receiver.
I thought that was a basketball player when I saw his name.
He does have kind of a basketball name.
There's like a Vincent Wright or something like that. He played for Miami or Wendell Wright.
Lorenzo Wright?
Something like that. I don't know. We'll get it right eventually. Pun intended.
I think my memory of Kendall Wright was we went to watch Titans Raiders at James's place.
Oh yeah.
And Kendall Wright, it was like that was his breakout game, and they thought, this is like his come out season. It's back in like 2013.
Yeah. And now we think he's a basketball player.
And that was in the supplemental draft. Did this guy have like a? Did he have a fentanyl?
The record?
Yeah,
I'm not sure, but it'll be interesting to see how these receivers in the NFL, like we talked about here, it's slot receiver, but how they translate to the XFL. Like, will they be able to be a dominant, outside guy? Whereas in the NFL, they were known as a slot receiver, probably because they had a better wide receiver at the time.
Well, Kendall Wright has to me anyways, my opinion, has an outside receiver frame build. It's just he didn't have the speed.
He's a big guy.
Yeah, he's not a small guy.
He's 5'10".
He's not a small guy.
5'10", 185.
But he's like lengthy. He can make those catches. I can see him on the outside. But he didn't have the speed.
Yeah. Well, I think in the XFL, obviously, everybody's going to be a little bit. I mean, they're not going to be NFL speed, so he might be able to dominate because of that. And then his experience. He's 30, so he's got some experience under him, and hopefully he can go into a team and bring that.
Do you think he'll be a star though?
It depends which team he goes to. I mean, I know that they did the draft, and
I can see that. I can see if he goes with what's called Landry. What team is that on? That's on Dallas, right?
Yeah, the Renegades.
Yeah. I can see Landry and, some guys that have had NFL experience.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that, mixing well.
I think St. Louis is a little receiver light too.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, they can still obviously build other players that are maybe younger, but it's something that maybe they can go at. So
that's interesting because you're talking about building players that are younger, but the real thing is XFL has to hit the ground running. Like, they can't wait for players to develop. They have to put who's talented, and who people know. So if someone sees Kendall Wright and knowledgeable football fans might be like, oh, I know who that is. They might tune in, as opposed to you see Joe Bob out there and you're like, I don't know, but he has a future. It's like, well, I'm not watching XFL to see the future. I want to see entertainment now.
Well, that's one thing we were talking about in the not the first podcast, but we were saying how one thing about the NFL, it's like star driven, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to know the players you go watch. Unlike, we went to an AAF game.
Mm-hmm.
We went to go see the San Diego Fleet, and just watching quality football with players you don't know, it makes a difference. So I do agree with, if Kendall Wright's a name that people are kind of familiar with,
mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? But at the same time, I ran into some of the receivers for the Wildcats.
Mm-hmm.
They're like big dudes, man.
They are.
Oh yeah.
We got some size on the Cats.
So we definitely need some star power, but the question is it going to be made or is it going to be drafted, or are we going to have a new Who Hate Me, or is it going to be a? And the funny thing is, we laugh because it's funny because that the whole. I remember that it was yesterday. That whole moment when I forgot her name. The reporter asked what does it mean, and he's like, oh, he hate me. But Ross Smart, I mean, he had it. He legit had it even for years after in the NFL, and he electrified the crowd. I mean, because he was a speedy guy. He ran back kicks. He definitely played. He was a player that put himself in special teams and also moments to get the ball in the open field to make crazy plays. I mean, look what he did with the Carolina Panthers. But he became a name, right? Now, when you heard Rod Smart for those years with the Carolina Panthers, you thought, he hate me. That became a star, and that was a made star. But I don't remember many other than Tommy Maddox, and that's it, really. I remember 2 players from the XFL.
Mm-hmm.
So what's more valuable, a commodity or creating something from scratch, but you have 2 years?
That's the thing right there. That's the kicker, is how much time do you have? Maybe if it was a product that was guaranteed for longer, you could get that fan investment of sticking with someone, having more patience. But it's like, dude, we have to hit the ground. We have to put players now because we want to extend it after 2 years.
But you also don't want to be the league that just has washed up ass players. You know what I mean?
True. 100%.
You want some quality football out there. One of the names we're talking about particularly,
I was going to bring up a name next, talking about star power, is I followed this guy's career, or it hasn't been deep, but because of the of Netflix fame, I watched Last Chance U. So Ronald Ollie, who was on the Raiders, they drafted him, right?
No, they didn't draft him. He came in free agent.
Oh, okay. Somebody I forgot how he, but
he was a free undrafted free agent.
He was on the Last Chance U, and then he went to a D1 school, right? And I've been following him, and his name keeps popping up. Especially every time the season of Last Chance U pops up, there some articles, like 15, 20 articles comes up of where are they now from everywhere from the first season, and it hasn't been that many seasons. I think we're like 4 now, or 3 or 4. He's a name. He's a name people, especially the reality show people, will follow, and maybe more of the casual TV fan, not necessarily the football fan. But I mean, I saw him on Hard Knocks. He is a great athlete, but he wasn't NFL level.
Nah, dude. Well, he played pretty decent in the preseason. He shined a bit, but he was just lazy. He just gave up. Remember,
not work ethic.
Yeah, he just had really shitty work ethic. He missed his training. With the trainer, his session with the trainer. Yeah. Like, you're a professional. You got to get it going. So I think with him, it's just attitude. And this is literally his last chance.
And he's like,
this is like the last one. So
last chance.
Last chance. Yeah.
But he's young, right? He's like in his 20s. So
has to be in his 20s.
He's really young.
He's like right out of school, so he's supposed to be like 23.
I mean, he was on the combine, and he put up great numbers. It just his work ethic. Like he said, well, I didn't know his work ethic back then. I knew there was some issues, but again, it's somebody that I follow because of the name. But obviously, it's more of a casual following.
Yeah.
If he would have made it on the team, I definitely would have watched.
But if you really think about it, if he was really that talented with shitty work ethic, he kind of would have stayed on a roster or get picked up by a roster. And the fact that he's neither that, you know what I mean? And this is his chance.
Yeah. Well, they talk about motor, right? Like every NFL player needs to have like a nonstop motor. So I know a lot of players who aren't as skilled who we watch every weekend in the NFL, but they are just like go,
exactly.
like run through a freaking brick wall. But with no skill, with no awareness, but they're doing exactly what the coach says, and that's who they want. They want guys who they'll tell them to run through a brick wall, and they won't question it. And unfortunately, some guys are like, they just ask a simple question like, "Why do you want me to do that? You're out." Like, I don't want people to question me. You're out.
Yeah. I remember there was this kid I used to work with who he wasn't very smart technically. I mean, we work in a kind of a tech environment, tech company, and there was this kid who didn't really know much. He thought he did, but he didn't. But he would do everything he would take out the trash. He would do anything you asked him for. And I remember I asked my boss, like, why do you keep him around? He goes, you always need a dude that will do everything on your team. You need a guy that will clean it up. He's, a guy that's smart enough to do the
basics.
The basics, and then doesn't have a chip on his shoulder and will get his hands dirty when you need it. So, yeah, I mean, you're right. Like, some of the guys that know they're talented, we've seen it before, right, with talented, lazy players.
Yeah. I mean, you have your hype man around you, got your crew around you, and they're pumping you up your whole life. Nobody ever tells you no. Everyone's just telling you you're destined for this, you're destined for this, you're destined for this. And one day you go to a camp and someone's like, you don't got it.
But this one actually seemed more like a mental thing, just going off from what I saw in Hard Knocks. I think in his mind he thought he wasn't cutting it because, again, it's probably all the odds were stacked against him as far as he was not drafted. But, yeah, I think with him it was more a mental thing. Like
he gave up?
Yeah, he just thought, you know what, why even go through this?
That's weird.
Yeah.
All right. So what about Michael Bowie? I remember him. He's a offensive tackle for the Seahawks. He won the Super Bowl with them, and he was on the bench. I remember he started because they had injuries that year on their front line, and he came in and he plugged the holes nicely, but he just never got his chance to shine because he got hurt. So I mean, he's still young enough to come back. And we were talking about this casually the other day.
Well, he's not that. He's 28. I'm looking right now.
6'4", 310. Damn.
Yeah.
And that's not all fat.
No.
That dude is gonna be a monster.
I mean, and in O-line play,
Yeah,
I mean, we said
true.
it's the talent drop off is gonna be steep.
Yeah,
you're gonna have your good O-line players, and then it's gonna go.
Right.
Well, dude, if you're a good O-line player, and especially if you put tape, 10 games for NFL teams, that's good. So
they're scouting during that time anyway. The season's gonna be going.
Would it be worth for Coach Moss to take a flyer on this guy? I mean, he knows they know.
I think so for veteran presence.
Yeah.
I think it's good. He's 28. He's definitely been on a championship team, so he has that kind of pedigree on him. But I think so. You know, from what I've heard, he's injury prone, right? Like the sustain.
Yeah, that was the thing.
Yeah.
You know, and Coach Moss is big on leadership. So bringing a leadership presence, somebody that's won a championship and knows what it takes, somebody that's come in, you know, with that mentality, like, you know, one player drops, the next man up. Maybe that'll be a good presence to have in the locker room.
Yeah, and then he had charges dropped against him too. Like he had this whole domestic violence thing.
Really?
Yeah, but they dropped the charges. But it's just like it's so easy for people to accuse athletes.
Oh yeah,
dude.
So.
But he hasn't played since 2016. He hasn't played in the league, so
He hasn't.
Maybe it's good for his injuries to heal.
yeah, that definitely. So we'll see. I mean, like we were talking about, this is a great soft landing spot for some of these players, and it's up and coming, and people are going to be very interested when it first starts.
So,
but it's not going to be like a walking apart for someone like Michael Bowie when you have kids that are even, you know, young kids that are hungry as shit.
yeah, but if you're a monster though, man, if you're that monster,
yeah, I mean that's up to him, you know.
Yeah,
what's he going to put on tape?
Here's a name that I remember: Fred Davis from a tight end. He played. I think I remember him when he was with the Redskins.
Yeah,
that's his last.
He's very athletic.
Yeah,
I remember that. He was like he's not one of these huge like clunky tight ends. He was more of a in between, a wide receiver, like an Anquan Bolden. Like Anquan Bolden could maybe have played tight end.
Yeah,
right.
If you read any of the articles that came out during the first draft, he was a name that got brought up a lot, and it was surprising that he didn't get drafted.
This guy's a little older though. He's 33.
Yeah, and I think that's why he didn't get drafted.
Do you think it's good for the XFL to have, you know, people at this age? Like I know they have some kind of star power, but
I think not only star power, but you need a veteran presence in the locker room.
And he's a USC kid.
Yeah.
Well, he's not a kid anymore, but he's a USC grad.
Because you enter with all rooks, or you enter with all. You need somebody to like be able to lasso it in. You know, I go back to, and this is funny because this is comedy, but I go back to the scene in Bull Durham when everybody's asking Kevin Costner about how it is in the majors and the bigs. You need somebody that's done it to be able to like tell people who are looking for that second chance. It's good to have somebody there in the presence that did that, and not a second chance, did it the first time, to tell them this is what it takes to make it.
Yeah, I see that.
This is a name where I'm surprised it's on this list because I really thought he would have been done by now. But Trent Richardson, I mean, he had 10.
Dude, that has to be the biggest joke out of all these fucking.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
When I saw the name, I did like a double take. I was like,
bro, he's had more chances than Ron.
But I did the same thing when he was in the AAF. Remember when he was like leading the league in touchdowns?
Oh yeah, for Alabama, right?
Yeah, I was like, he's still here. Like, and not in a bad way. Just like I would think that he mentally, because I'm pretty sure he's had opportunities to do other things.
Oh, dude, he was given plenty of chances.
Yeah,
even his last one with the Raiders, I think he was given.
And I don't think he's like he's doing it because of the money, right? He's more doing it because he wanted.
But he's already, dude. He has to be. Wait, let me see.
He's like an Alabama grad too.
Yeah.
So he has like that whole reputation.
Yeah.
What is he? 29. He has that shitty ass hairline.
Come on, man. What happens if the Wildcats pick this dude up? He's gonna come in here. He's gonna
no, he'll probably beat my ass, dude. Definitely beat my ass.
I mean,
because he's stocky as hell.
Like, I like Trent when he was in the league. It's been a while. I think he had his best second chance when he was with the Cowboys, right? That one half season.
Yeah, he was selected by the Browns.
And then he went to the Colts. No, he selected to the Colts and he went to the Browns. No, vice versa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember him mostly at the Colts.
And I think he did a stunt with the Ravens too, didn't he?
Trent Richardson?
Yeah.
He was like I think he was like a third option. Like they picked him up and I think they dropped him.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah. So he was with the Raiders and the Ravens.
Yeah. And then he was waived on August 2nd. Okay, so yeah, he was.
And then so it looks like he went to CFL and then he did the Alabama for AAF. I think he could still crush it. I think he could definitely be one of those names that definitely, you know, if he's with the Wildcats, that'd be dope, you know? Because I'm a guy like that talented, he can definitely do some damage in XFL.
Don't beat us up, Trent. If you come on the show,
dude, I was all on Trent when he was with the Raiders. Like I was really hoping, but then you know those pictures where they showed where he was missing these big ass gaps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
and hard, you know.
So this is a name that I read, or the name that's been brought up by different blogs that I'm I don't know who he is, but he plays for my Canadian team, the Toronto Agronauts. Shout out to the Agronauts. Freddie Bishop III, he's a edge rusher. 6 sacks this last season in the CFL, 40 tackles. Oh. But and this is something that I've been heard asked: will the skill level be at the same? Will you be able to bring CFL level? Will it translate on the field in the XFL?
Well, it seems like this guy's like a journeyman. Like, it looks like he definitely keeps going. So,
it's a weird question to ask because you're already putting standards to what the XFL is gonna look like.
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
Yeah,
it's like, are they gonna be able to play to XFL standards? Like, well, what does that look like? I don't know, but it sounds like it's gonna be legit.
Well, I would say one of the reasons that I think standards are starting to form is because I think teams are going in with legit coaching staffs.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Ours is good.
I mean, they're even asking, Bob Stoops about, is he going to leave already? He hasn't even coached one day, and they're asking him.
Oh, with Florida, was it?
They're asking him if he's going to leave to
it's a college team, right?
Yeah, to a college team.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they're already trying to poach coaches that haven't even coached yet. So I think that our coaching staffs are legit. Our front offices are legit. And that's setting a precedent already, which they're going to hold a standard. Whatever the talent level is that we put out there, is going to be held to a certain standard. Now, that's a variable still. That's the unknown. But at least that unknown's going to get held to a certain standard, or we're going to bring in, other players.
Yeah.
I think that standard just gets most like the NFL too. I think that standard just gets most tested when injuries start to mount. So we'll see how it goes.
Sports news. So we're gonna talk about some regular sports now, not just XFL, but
we Los Angeles sports.
Actually, we're watching the Laker game right now, but the Rams game just finished. The Rams beat the Bears.
Yeah, shit. Let me see.
The Bears.
The
Bears, who can't score points again.
The Bears.
As a Raider fan, I love that the Bears lose because that just means that pick is going up.
73 to treat the Bears.
Mitchell
you guys
Trubisky.
have a pick for
Khalil Mack.
That's right.
But fuck Khalil Mack. We got Max Crosby now.
Dude,
4 sacks today.
So
against the Bengals.
So keep playing Mitchell Trubisky is what you're saying.
Yes.
Keep playing him.
You know what? Well, I feel bad for Chicago Bears fans though, man.
Yeah, they had so much hope, and then the missed field goals last year.
The Bears.
They're like, we can make field goals this year. We just can't score the damn ball.
But the Rams, man, I don't know. That offense is looking. I don't know.
They scored 17 points against a Bears team that is decent, defensively.
Yeah.
But you're at home. Like, you got to put on a show. Like, last year, that was the thing. They put on a show.
Exactly. No, they were entertaining last year. Remember the game against the Chiefs? Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great game.
But this on a prime time, first off, I don't even know it was a prime time game. It was weird. You could have flexed that one out.
Yeah.
Definitely put the Raiders, Cincinnati Bengals.
Nah, Ravens, Texans.
No, actually, the Ravens, Texans would have been a good Sunday night game.
Who won the Raider game?
Really, bro?
Dude, I don't know. What was the score?
17-10.
You got
okay, and you're like, really, bro? It was a one-score game. It's a one-score game. And you're like, really, bro?
Raiders shut that down.
Did the Chargers play?
They play tomorrow in Mexico City against the Chiefs.
Oh, shit. And
Mexico.
Mexico.
Oh.
Senor Rivers? Senor
Rios? El comandante.
Felipe Rios?
Felipe Rios.
Philip Rivers is a really good dude. He a friend of mine, her boyfriend's dad was passing away, a coworker of mine, and he sent me so we were trying. She wanted to get an autographed jersey by Philip Rivers, and so I did some research. We ended up getting his long story. I'm not gonna say how we got it, but he sent us a video, saying, "Hey man, I feel bad for you." So my hat's off to Philip Rivers.
Oh, that's nice.
He is a nice guy.
That's dope, dude.
Yeah.
So he reached out?
He reached out. Yeah, definitely on that video.
That's cool.
Yep.
You got to respect players like that.
Super respect.
They don't have to do it.
No. But now he's in Mexico City.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean,
probably not eating the meat.
the
Felipe
Chiefs,
Rios.
The Chiefs need to throw up some wins, man. They're 6-4.
No, man, fuck those guys. Hope they lose too.
I know. It's just I thought when Mahomes went down, I was like, they're done. They're done. But he bounced back quick.
I think. Well, one thing about the Chiefs is they're built like the Packers, where if your quarterback's down, all the glaring holes that you had
Yeah.
come out once your top guy goes down.
Definitely.
Like they're not, it's not like the Saints where it's like, remove Breeze, put another guy in.
Bridgewater.
Yeah, exactly. Teams just rolling. No, those teams, yeah.
I'm looking at the NFL. I'm looking at all the Patriot quarterbacks that are around the NFL right now, and I'm just like, that disgusts me.
Yeah.
It's funny 'cause
They're all winning the same way too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Jimmy Garoppolo, I think he almost lost the game
Yeah.
for them, and then he won the game for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Lakers are playing right now. They're crushing the Hawks.
The Lakers.
Yeah.
So they'll probably win tonight.
Well, the Hawks have an interesting story because they got blown the fuck out last night
Yeah.
By the Clippers.
by the Clippers.
By 50 points.
By
Yeah,
50 points, right?
150.
Yeah.
That just was, unheard of.
Without
right?
Kawhi.
Yeah.
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 With Paul George.
With Paul George.
When the Clippers put it together, man, I mean, I don't think there's any other way to see it. If everybody stays healthy on both teams, it's going to be Laker-Clippers conference final.
Oh, dude, that's going to be so much fun. 7-game series like that.
Lakers all day, every day.
Dude, but the Lakers look good. I like the way that they're playing. I know that they, had a questionable loss last week, I think it was.
Yeah, against Toronto.
Yeah, but Toronto looked good. I mean, they have, you just
They
have
got,
matchups.
they got a lot to prove still.
Siakam?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got, you just match up bad against certain teams. And I think Toronto had so many wing players, and the Lakers aren't strong on the wings necessarily. And they were just able to outrun them basically the whole second half. When they came back into the game, it was like long shot, long rebound, outlet pass, and boom, layup.
Yeah.
Like layup. And these guys are like 6'7" going against our guards who are a little bit smaller.
Dude, Marcel Fultz, is it Marcel Fultz? Markel Fultz. He's with the Magic now,
Yeah.
and he can play basketball all of a sudden.
All of a sudden, he made like 2 threes today. He yacked it on
There
two
he
guys.
is, right there, talking to the I don't even know who that is.
Oh, the guy from the NBA desk,
Yeah, he looks like a
NBA TV.
How did those guys make it
yeah.
to that level of media?
They gotta know their stuff. They start off with like XFL podcasts and stuff.
This is where they start off.
He's living the dream.
Ground zero, dude.
Living
This
the
is when
dream.
he yaks it on him right here. That's the game-winning play. What? Because they were only up by 3 at that point, and there was like 20 seconds in the game.
Yo, he intercepted that himself and took it down.
Yeah.
And one.
Boom.
Damn,
Okay.
and with the Kings, he can buy a career. Wow.
No, with the Sixers.
Oh yeah, Sixers. My bad, Sixers.
Yeah, and then they
Same
traded
shit.
him, and I just feel bad for that guy because you got so much pressure on you. And,
Yep.
But then, how bad do you really feel? He's the number 1 draft pick. Like, obviously, everybody thought the world of you, and you have something to uphold. And, anyways, that's not LA.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's not only a basketball.
B, it doesn't matter because none of these teams are going to win the championship. It's going to be the Lakers or the Clippers. Probably the Lakers.
Yeah.
Most likely the Lakers.
Lake Show.
I think so because even you were saying about matchups. I even think you match up Lakers and Clippers. The matchup would be Paul George and Anthony Davis.
Mhm.
And still I'll take Anthony Davis over a matchup over
Yeah.
PG.
Or
But
Paul George and Danny Green. That's actually a good matchup because Paul George would need to chase him around defensively.
yeah,
And then LeBron, Kawhi would be nice. But in this game, in NBA nowadays, like, it's all about switches. So I've never seen so many superstars call out for switches against good defenders. Like, I remember watching Kobe. He's like, I want your best defender.
right. That's what I'm saying.
I don't want to switch. I want to take Raja Bell inside, and I'm going to punish him because I want your whole team to watch what I do to this man.
Yeah, but that was a different time.
unless it was Ruben Patterson.
Oh, the Kobe stopper.
The Kobe stopper. And speaking of more LA sports, the Dodgers are in the news again, but for weird butthurt reasons. Not saying the Dodgers are butthurt, but people are butthurt of this Astros cheating scandal. I've seen some videos online. I've seen some videos on YouTube and just some on Twitter, and it does look like there's legs to this rumor.
Yeah.
But
It's almost
definitely-
clear
But
to
it's just
say.
a rumor as of right now, though.
oh no, they're investigating it.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, definitely got to investigate.
I think they're gonna find something because even inconsequential evidence. It's every game gets recorded.
So wait, can you give the backstory to it though?
So They set up cameras to steal signs.
2017.
But they found out because of an email some guy
No,
sent out.
they found out because of ex-player. Well, but this had already come out. They had already been caught stealing signs that season.
Okay.
And before, but it wasn't like a full-on thing. It was like specifically for like they had been caught by a team stealing signs and using cameras a season before. And then a couple people called them out for it. Boston called them out for it. Boston said they steal signs. A bunch of people called them out, but it didn't have. It didn't have legs because there was no evidence. Now there's people from inside the organization that played with them.
That's
that
what
season.
happened, right? Something came out.
Yeah, a pitcher, I think it was like a relief pitcher.
A relief pitcher's admitting that they were stealing signs. They had cameras set up, and then they would have signals, depending on where they were. If they were at home or away, they would have bells, clacks. They would have different whistles. Also like wood clicking, like hits. They would change it up so it wouldn't become a pattern, right? So you wouldn't be able to figure it out. Yeah. But you could tell, like, and it repeats itself when the catcher calls, number one, a fastball. There's a certain thing that happened over and over again, a certain sound that happened over again when he change up or whatever it was.
But this is supposed to be during the World Series?
It happened during the whole season and during the World Series as well. So it happened every series.
But I mean,
it happened during the regular season.
If they catch them, cool. But let me be honest with you. Like, they still lost.
Nothing. I think it'll just be an asterisk, on
yeah,
their,
I mean, I don't want a World Series ring. I don't want that World Series ring that way.
No.
But it does suck.
It does suck because Kershaw, there's a lot of evidence on that Game 5 where Kershaw led up that 3-run lead and the 4-run lead. And they were showing those videos, and clear as day, you could hear the whistles. They were talking about, like, they're leaning over the dugout wall, and, like, 2 hands over the wall means something, and no hands over the wall means something. And the video evidence is showing it, and you're just watching it, and you're just like, holy shit, like, this is happening. Like, it's really happening. And
it isn't just one-off play. It's every at-bat.
Yeah.
And a pattern consists of whether it's a 1, it's a 2, it's a changeup, whatever it is, their pitches. So they were, you still got to hit the ball.
Yeah.
But it's like PEDs, right? Like people hear, steroids doesn't help you see a fastball or doesn't help you hit a curveball, whatever, You still got to hit the ball. But if you know what he's throwing, I mean, most of these pitchers are swinging before they see the ball anyways.
But at the same time, like...
most of these batters...
But wouldn't it just be a complete blowout then?
You still got to hit the ball. Like I'm saying...
because what I'm saying is, from what I remember, the series was kind of close, right?
Well, if you look at it...
That game was like 13-12.
Yeah. If you look at it, it could have been a blowout. The Dodgers kept coming back.
Right.
I hear what you're saying. Yeah,
it could have been the other way. They could have been a sweep for the Dodgers.
Just because you're calling the pitches doesn't mean that you're going to call what happens when we bat. That's the whole thing about baseball. The Dodgers stayed in it.
Yeah.
Unbeknownst to them, they were actually getting cheated and stayed in it. If you hear what some people, especially on the AL, are pissed because they felt the Yankees got cheated out. If the Yankees feel cheated out of the World Series bid,
the evil empire.
we feel cheated out of a World Series win.
Yeah, and that messes up Kershaw's legacy too. Because if he would have won that World Series as the Game 5 pitcher, he turns that whole series around for them. Then all of a sudden you're talking about Kershaw as not the postseason failher, but the best pitcher of all time.
I mean, it is what it is. You can't go back and replay that game.
Yeah,
that's the only way to make it better. I wouldn't want to take that because we still don't know in a fair up game do we beat them, but
because they still had hitters.
They're mad talented.
Oh yeah, they were really good.
But they didn't allow it to happen.
Yeah, I think if they find all the evidence that I think a civil lawsuit could be coming up for the Dodgers.
Yeah,
and I'd be all for it. I mean, sue them.
Fuck the shit. Take as much money as you can from them. But if you look at it this way, they're a talented team that has Hall of Famers on their squad. They're probably the best at that year. They were the most talented team, and they're still not confident enough to go head up with teams.
Yeah.
What does that tell you about them? They're mental midgets.
Yeah.
They're pathetic people that shouldn't. To me, the whole aspects of people using PEDs, not getting in the Hall of Fame, is not because of the PEDs. It's because of you have what it takes, and you still are not confident enough.
Mm-hmm.
That makes you a weaker player, not the PEDs, but the fact that you were Barry Bonds or you were Mark McGwire, who already was a fucking monster, and you need this.
It's just PDs make the fucking sport so much more entertaining.
It does.
I've said on the record before, just been like, let everybody take them.
Yeah.
And just let them go at it.
That's the thing. Now, if they would, to me, they want to be forgiven. Everybody wants to forgive the PED people. Anybody who confessed, forgive them, because I'm cool with it. But it's the people that still. It's like Ryan Braun, who wanted to get that dude, the UPS driver, fired for his tainted test, and it comes out that he really did cheat. Dude, come on. You try to get a dude fired, or you got a dude fired from his job because you couldn't even fess up. Just fess up. Just fucking fess up.
So you think Peyton Manning should fess up too?
Peyton Manning's on PEDs?
Well, that was a rumor, remember, that he was on.
During his noodle arm years?
Yeah. No, I think it was like, man, I forgot what year, but
With the Broncos?
He's on the Broncos, but he was getting sent PEDs and supposedly was sent to his wife.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a whole scandal about that.
Okay.
But,
I don't know.
I'm dude, half the leagues are still on PDs. The ones that get caught are like the ones that are sloppy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, if you get caught, just be like, you know what, you got me, cool. Hey, I'll take a couple years off the media.
It's just, to me, it's funny the lengths of the suspensions. Like, some guys get 4 games, some guys get like a whole season.
Depends on
how
many times you've got caught.
Yeah, how many offenses?
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
All right, well, sorry. I mean, as much as I wish we could have won that World Series, I wouldn't want one now. I just, just put an asterisk by it, sue them, take all their money, make them not be able to afford any players for like 10 years, and let's go move forward.
It's put us in a weird place as Dodger fans. Like, we used to enjoy watching regular season, and now it's almost like, well, like, wake us up when we get to the playoffs again. Like, we're gonna blow this anyways. Like, it almost feels like we're becoming cultured fans.
Yeah.
All these other franchises who were so used to losing for so long, we made fun of them. Now we're at what, like a 30-year drought?
Yeah.
So we're starting to feel that kind of like, oh man, like, this is never going to happen. We had the best team ever the last 3 years and the best record in baseball, and we still can't get this done.
Especially if that one closes too.
Well, the good thing is the Wildcats are going to win a championship.
Hey, year 1, dude.
Yeah, because you know why? Because of our coaching staff.
Dude.
I think we have the best coaching staff in the XFL.
Actually, our OC is fucking phenomenal.
Well, I love Norwich Howard because I'm a Titan and an SC guy. But so you know what? Let's get to know the team. I mean, we have months until the season starts, and let's get to know the team. So I think we should start by talking about the players we know they're on the roster, which is the people that we know, which is the coaching staff. So let's start with the head coach and the coordinator. So our head coach is Winston Moss, who, by the way, is an amazing person. He's an awesome, funny guy, great
He's super
personality.
funny,
I mean, amazing guy. I mean, he's so open. Like I said, he texted me the other day to see if we needed anything.
Ton of personality,
with the podcast and with the support group. If we needed any help, he was there to give it to us. Seems like a stand. I remember him as a player, and I remember him when he coached the Packers, and I remember when he got let go from the Packers because of a tweet that he said that leadership wins championships.
Yeah.
And he didn't throw anybody under the bus per se. He didn't.
None of the leadership.
Yeah. But he said you need leaders on teams to win, which I believe. So.
Yeah. And he talked about, what got him fired was that he talked about Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
He said you need you can't talk about Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay and expect to keep your job.
Yeah, dude. And again, like, I hate Green Bay. Sorry if there's Green Bay fans out there. Like, I want them to go away.
Yeah.
And the only thing that holds them together is Aaron Rodgers. So
yeah. But they're never going to.
If you're the guy,
the Packers are going to resurface. They're never
no. After Aaron Rodgers leaves, they're not going to resurface because they weren't nobody before Brett Favre. Forever, they were like, besides in the Super Bowl era, they weren't around forever.
Well, after Vince Lombardi, you mean?
Yeah. I was gonna say Lombardi
because they are
Lombardi
because they are title town.
Exactly, but other than that, they weren't relevant.
Before the
80s and 90s.
Before the Super Bowl era, they were it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. But like,
he's saying since when the Super Bowl era started up until Favre.
Yeah, there's nothing. And then on top of that, you got to think with Favre and Aaron Rodgers. I'm going on a tangent, but they've only won one each. You know what I mean? And you're talking about hella talent, but I'm not going there yet.
It doesn't matter about them.
But Moss and tweeting.
I mean, I think he's a stand-up guy. He's a great leader.
Imagine being so good at your job that you get to coach in the NFL, and not just coach, but be a head assistant, right?
For a long time.
A long time. And then because you say something that, I don't know, it's not even that bad compared to what all these players are doing.
Yeah.
You lose your job and you get locked out of the NFL basically. And so now he's got to find another job, and he's landed at a good spot. I mean, he's in LA. From Green Bay to LA is a big difference.
Yeah.
So welcome, Coach Moss, and
he was handpicked too by the front office.
there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, we gotta. He's the GM as well. I mean, we gotta have him on the podcast soon, because I just want to ask him about his time at the U. I mean, he was at the U in the '80s.
Yeah.
83 to 86.
Man. It went down.
He won he's in the University of Miami Hall of Fame. He won a national championship with the U, and then I think he took a share of one too. So one outright and one shared. Spent 11 years in the NFL. He was with the Bucks. He was with your team, with the Raiders too, and the Seahawks.
Yep.
And he was and he's been a coach for so long. Did a great job. I mean, I'm excited that he's our leader, and that he sees fan engagement as vital for this league to succeed.
He really does. We met him, and right off the rip, he's like, "What's your guys' phone? Take my phone number." And he's like, "If you guys need anything, hit me up." Like, so.
Oh man.
He definitely wants to see the fan base grow here in LA. He's very, very, very. He wants to be involved.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't wait for you to meet him, because I'm pretty sure you'll get the same thing that we get just right off the bat, that he's a really good leader. He's a really good guy, and he's just, you could tell that he cares about the players.
Positive vibes.
Yeah.
You can tell that he cares about the players.
Hashtag positive vibes.
So, and you need that from your head coach.
Yo, he I'm not gonna put him on the spot, but he was just really. We met him at the post draft party, and he was just having a good time. He was let loose, if you know.
That's awesome.
Somebody who I'm excited for, who was coached on a couple of my teams. He was a offensive coordinator for the Titans for a while.
He was, dude.
It was Norm Chow.
Yep.
He's a famous name.
People should know him.
He's a big name, dude.
He actually coached Maricosta a couple of years ago, because he lives here in Manhattan Beach.
Oh, okay.
We're in Manhattan Beach currently right now.
Yes.
Our studio's in Manhattan Beach.
Yep.
So we gotta have him on, because it's right by his house.
We should have him on, man. He's a cool dude.
I mean, he coached Steve Young at BYU. He coached Phillip Rivers, Carson Palmer, Matt Leinart.
Well, yeah, he had that big run in USC.
Yeah.
So he's very quarterback friendly, offensive guru like that. So I think as of right now, our starting quarterback is Perez.
Yeah.
So hopefully, Perez takes advantage of that, creates good matchups. I know he's been out of coaching for a while, right? I think he's a little on the older side.
But man, he looked ready. He looked with it. He looked excited.
Yeah, actually, when they said when I read his age, and I remember meeting him, I was like, dang, he does not look that age.
Not at all.
Who, Norm Chow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he brings good energy, kind of like a Pete Carroll kind of guy.
Yeah.
Can you imagine those two guys in the same room, like being
Wow,
your coaches?
yeah.
That's true, huh?
That'd be crazy.
And then on the other end, we got Coach Pepper Johnson. He's a defensive coordinator and a linebacker coach. He's a two-time Super Bowl champion with the Giants. He played alongside of Lawrence Taylor, which is arguably the best defensive player of all time.
I mean, just wait till Max Crosby. He had 4 sacks today, but no, but Bill Parcells, man, and Bill Belichick.
Bill Parcells, 13 years in the NFL. He coached with the Patriots, won 3 Super Bowls as a coach, 2 as a player.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gonna call him Pepper though? You can call him Thomas or Pepper?
I'm calling Coach Johnson.
Mr. Johnson.
Coach Mr. Johnson, yeah. Coach J.
Hey,
Pepper.
And then on special teams, we have Martin Bayless, who is a former cornerback and safety, 13 seasons in the NFL, and he was also in the front office of the Bills. You don't make it 13 years in the NFL if you're not a good player.
Dude, you don't make it 13 years in the NFL
if you are a good player, like you gotta stay in there, man.
Yeah.
Persistence.
That's the thing about this coaching staff, man. They got like a lot of years in the NFL.
Yeah, and I like how he went right into an organization right after his playing time too. Like he wanted to work in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like at a time when it wasn't that. I guess you could say at a time when it wasn't as publicized as it is today. Like a lot of players try to go from playing to coaching now because it's good for their brand. Like it's popular because they see people doing it on the media all the time, on TV all the time. So it's like an automatic next step. But back then it wasn't an automatic next step. So like in around 2000. So it's good to see that, you know, he was able to step in and had a vision for what he wanted his life after football to look like. And he's still living it. So he's doing a good job.
And in LA too.
Yeah.
In LA.
Can't get any better than that.
Well, I was reading how Norman Chow, I guess he didn't think about coming back into coaching. I know he does some stuff for high schools. I think.
Yeah, he coached Maricosta here in
Yeah, doesn't one of his sons or something like that, son-in-law, coach college or something?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And then, so Norman and Moss have never met each other up till now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't like it was like a.
Like he brought in his boy.
Yeah, he brought in his boy. So, hats off to the Wildcats for really trying to recruit somebody like Norman Chow.
And it's funny because they have like a little missing each other history with coaching and player. Like the year after Coach Moss left Miami when they were going on the run, BYU was the team that took him off of that beat him that year. So he was like a year removed, like seeing each other. You know, obviously one on the field and one in the coaching and sidelines. But it seems like their careers have kind of like flirted before, and now that they're together, I'm interested to see what happens.
Okay.
What years did he coach the Titans?
Who, Chow?
Yeah.
2006 and 7?
Yeah. Was it?
So it was like right after that USC run.
Yeah. It was right after that USC
yes.
run.
Oh, nice.
Because I was excited because Lindell White had gone to the Titans, and that's Lindell White's best two.
Oh yeah,
his first two
that's
seasons
a big
are great.
boy, man.
Yeah, my shout outs to Lindell, my boy. Dude, I used to senior the year that we lost to Texas. I used to hang out and play. I used to hang out with Lindell a lot. He was one of the nicest guys ever.
Was that 2006?
Yeah.
Dude, that was the
2005, 2006.
I'm like yelling at my TV. He's running right every single time. Every single time.
You're talking about the championship?
Yeah, Vince.
And first of all, Lindell was killing him.
Yeah.
You know, pounding it, and then they just went all Reggie. Remember the pitch back to nobody with Reggie?
Hey, actually, I know we already passed this, but sports news also from LA. What's it called? USC. They want to recruit that coach. What's his name? Ohio State.
Not Saban.
Urban
Myers, dude.
Urban Myers.
That's
that'd be a good.
Yo, if they pick up Urban Myers, that's ridiculous.
Urban Meyer,
yeah, because that's a juggernaut. Like USC is a juggernaut when it comes to like recruiting.
Yep.
Immediate respectability, because they're losing all these players now to Washington.
Yeah.
Oregon.
They can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, no, they're losing all these. I'm looking at all these players from these other Pac-12 teams, and I'm like, dude, they stole them from your backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen. Like, it's a scandal if that happens in Alabama. Like, a good player from Alabama goes and plays for another team.
Yep. Or out of state. You know, maybe the whole, Auburn against, Bama whole thing. But definitely if you go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine if the SEC starts losing to the ACC. I mean, that'll be the end of the world. Things would change.
Yeah. Things will blow up real quick.
Well, coaching is very important, but you know what also is important for players is that atmosphere in the stands.
The fans.
Bring the noise, Wildcats.
The den. That's what they were.
The den.
That's what they were trying to call. I guess the
den.
Instead of the dignity, it's the den.
The den. Well, no, that's going to be it's going to be the Wildcat Den, the whole thing. But I mean, look, I know we have till February, but damn, I mean, these months are passing by quick. It's going to be February next thing you know.
It's going to be here before we know it.
Wait, so just the timeline alone. So it's training camp starts and it's 2 months. Oh, that's 2 months, huh?
Yeah.
Is there preseason games?
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if I was them, I would do it. You know how between the last game, the conference finals, and then the Super Bowl, there's those 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
I would play preseason in between that,
right?
And have execs come out and watch, and be like, "This is what we're about. This is our dress rehearsal."
That's not bad.
Because everybody's looking for football that week. It's only what is it called, the Pro Bowl?
Yeah,
that's the only game that goes on that week, right?
And you can
that's true.
And like half the guys are starting to drop out of that shit nowadays, anyway.
Yeah.
So
I'd rather do like a skills competition and see like, dude, I want to see Tyreek Hill versus like the next guy and see like who's the fastest player in the NFL.
They usually have Senior Bowl run that time too, don't they? Like on the Saturday. Damn, that's not bad. Or just have Saturday games.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
Or like who has the biggest arm in the NFL and have quarterbacks just like chuck it like a javelin throw, but with
Stupid.
a football.
And they have like the obstacle course.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Is there a XFL show on the NFL Network? Chalk Talk, XFL Chalk Talk.
Is it really?
Yeah, I think so. I'm just seeing Rocket Ross from our team, a Wildcat, our receiver. He put up a clip that they're featuring him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I mean, so is the NFL on board with this? Because it seems like it, right?
It has to be because
They're not trying to compete with them this
They're not
time.
trying to compete.
Last time they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, it's a really good place for these guys to put like the game on tape. It's 10 weeks. It's talent. You know what I mean? It's professional, right?
Professionally run,
Yeah.
professional coaches.
Yeah, and again, even for like college players that may not, be in the top draft, class. Why not, like you said, why not just go out there, give it a try?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you get on, you can put good tape.
Yeah. I mean, the timing is before the NFL draft.
Yeah.
So you could technically, if you feel like you're going to be a late round pick or not drafted at all, undrafted, why not go play in the XFL for a couple months, come out and build up your stock in the draft?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Exactly.
Like that's makes sense.
There will be those stories too.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the long run. That's why I think the NFL does want to be mixed in.
That's great. I mean, I'm all for it. I think it's gonna make the experience for the fan the better. I mean, if we already, like, obviously we're doing this podcast for the Wildcats, but if we have something, on NFL Network where we can go and see these players, film on these players that we're basically looking on YouTube and looking online. If we have somewhere where we get to know, that's going to help build those star names that we talked about.
Bro, that's football literally all year because technically football, well, you have the combine, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have 80,000 mock drafts.
Yeah. just Rico,
Yeah.
just Rico's alone right there.
Yeah, I'm already mock drafting, dude.
Never too early. Never too early. They start making the mock drafts the second the draft is done for that year.
Yeah.
Mel Kiper's mock draft.
And they're already, and it's funny because they already got like 4.0, 6.0,
Right.
mock draft 6.0.
Like Rico's legit one of those memes that says, nobody, and then Rico, mock draft, the day of the draft and shit.
Actually, what's funny, I actually called the Raiders one early that they were going to pick Cleveland Farrell. And then eventually, he kind of fell off. And then when we drafted him, it was like, what? But
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, when the season comes, man, you guys are gonna have to join us in section 122.
Section 120, standing section.
Sorry, that's
north side of the
122.
field, yeah.
I heard that's where the party's at.
Section 122 is gonna
Yeah.
be where the party's at.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to be sober.
So we haven't, we're leading we are leading a supporter group. It's gonna be kind of a mix between, NFL tailgate culture and international soccer supporter group culture. But we're gonna have a party nonstop in the stands, flags, drums. We're gonna start a tailgate and bring it to the field. And if you can't stand with us the whole game for 2 hours, definitely we're gonna have areas across. So we're gonna have basically a second area for people that want to sit, and that way it doesn't matter if you score in the north end or the south end. We're gonna have people there to jump in the field with, to jump into the stands to celebrate with the players. But it's gonna be something different because no other team is doing this.
Yeah, from what we were told, right?
Yeah, from what we
by
know.
the front office. I guess we're like the first one that actually.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, we're the first fan group that met with the front office.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I reached out.
Yeah.
Yeah, to start this.
Yeah,
And
that's
then-
awesome.
And then the Chargers tailgate guys picked up with us as well. It's funny because one of the guys that does Thunder Alley for the Chargers, he's cousins in Lars for the Galaxy, and but to be honest with you, I know I'm a Galaxy fan, but we want to be right now when it comes to other sports, we want to be agnostic of who you support. So even if you're one of our rivals, or in one of the other groups, 3252 or whatever, Clippers, it doesn't matter. When it comes to the Wildcats, we are together. So there is none of that. We checking our egos at the door. It's gonna be one big party for the Wildcats.
Well, you can't have an ego because this is like the only team from like
the only show in
originated.
town?
Yeah, it
made
originated.
in LA.
I think the only like obviously there's no, it's not even postseason basketball, but
No, it's regular season basketball at that time, and
Yeah.
spring, not even spring training yet.
No.
So that's the only show that's going on.
yeah.
Is the NBA in LA?
It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fun. I mean, we're gonna do a whole announcement with the name of the supporter group and logo and everything. And we hope to bring you. We're gonna be bringing you not only on this podcast on Wild Talk, but on our YouTube channel, which is Wild Zone, or our socials, either IG or on Twitter. We're gonna be bringing you more content. Like we definitely want to cover events like the helmet reveal, and
That's gonna be dope, man.
oh my god, the helmet reveal.
I just hope that it's black.
Yeah, it's me too.
Yeah, it's gonna be black.
Yeah, because if they come out with some bullshit like it's like that orange or something like that. No.
Well, you know what? I'm not gonna knock it till I see it.
Yeah, because
Or
it
actually,
might look dope with
I
like all black jerseys and like the orange.
Yeah,
Oh, that might look.
Actually, even if they had an orange, could be kind of Clemson. I would have.
Well, because the orange is like burnt orange, you know. So
Right.
it has that, yeah, and as long as it has that shine, like the candy shine,
Yeah.
not like a matte, because it will go. And
Right.
I would have that candy orange, like burnt orange, with the matte red or matte black.
They're good colors.
With the silhouette of the city in
Yes.
the back of the
Oh,
helmet.
dude, look at that.
yes. So yeah, we're gonna have we already had our first giveaway. We gave away a T-shirt. We had really good interactions, and I also picked because we did the giveaway on Veterans Day, or we started it. I picked a veteran at random, and we're sending him a T-shirt as well, and hopefully get some more swag, and we're gonna send them some stuff. Also, we're gonna be doing a giveaway next week for people who already bought season tickets. Doesn't matter if you bought them in 122 in our section or 145 or 129 or 118 or whatever it is. If you have season tickets and you show us proof, we're going to be doing a giveaway. We're going to be giving away one of the hats that Rico's wearing right now.
Boom.
Nice.
Yeah.
Los Angeles.
And depending, you know,
It's a birthday present.
the more lit that people get on the social media, the more lit that people get, sending us questions and just interacting with us. We might give away some big ticket items. I might just give away season tickets.
The whole season.
Yeah, I might.
In our section though, obviously 122, obviously.
Obviously.
They're gonna be drunk a lot.
I
5
might.
games.
I might mess around and give away some season tickets. So.
What?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You're feeling cute, huh?
Feeling cute.
Might
Might give away some
delete-
season tickets today.
Hey, might delete later.
Yo, I know you're saying that now, but it's Christmas time's coming around, dude.
Yep.
And that's when expenses get pretty.
Well, good thing I had till February.
That's true.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But bet season tickets are $100, starting at $100 for the whole season. $100.
Well, that's the thing about the XFL is they want to make it affordable for their supporters.
I don't want this to sound like an infomercial because we have in no way we are unofficial. We're not affiliated. We get no commission, anything. This is us being passionate.
They just gave us free pizza and some warm ass soda.
Oh,
yours was
warm
damn.
soda.
Yours was warm. No,
It was
Like room temperature?
Yeah, it was like room.
I like room temperature soda or whatever. The pizza was cool. I like Fresh Brothers. So
Yeah,
the
no,
pizza was
No
cool.
way. You like room temperature soda?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Nah, dude.
No, it depends on the soda though. It depends on the soda.
Not
Some-
Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is dope when it's cold.
Yeah, Coca-Cola's the best when it's cold.
And
Like
Dr.
Sprite.
Pepper and
Sprite, I could do. In like Dr. Pepper, I could do like room temperature. The rest I need it cold.
oh, man.
Yeah.
Can't do Dr. Pepper warm. I mean, I've had I guess I've had mixed drinks that weren't that cold, that weren't bad, but that's like mixed drinks.
It can't be warm.
Yeah.
It has to be like colder than your mouth.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was gonna say, isn't like Scotch and whiskey warm?
Yeah.
Tequila?
Scotch and whiskey. That's a strong drink.
Scotch and whiskey.
Yeah.
Let me get a Scotch and whiskey, please.
Not Scotch
Neat.
and whiskey. I'm just
Neat.
saying like
Neat.
Scotch or whiskey.
Let me get a Scotch and whiskey neat.
Oh, man. Don't let them blend. Don't let them touch each other.
So, guys, we're getting to the end of the first podcast. What did you guys think of the first podcast?
Good. Hey, you know what? We should give them a. We should help out the Wildcats in this because I know when we had a meeting with them, they were saying, when they posted that LAFC post,
Yeah.
and I guess a bunch of.
So what I did is I told people straight up, hey guys, because a lot of Galaxy fans on my Galaxy Twitter account were ready to not buy tickets. So the LAFC actually tweeted good luck to the Galaxy when we played Minnesota. People didn't see it, so I retweeted that so they could see that they actually are being an agnostic in sense of they're wishing every LA team good luck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And they stayed out of the tráfico.
So
they
yeah,
did not, they stayed out of it.
So
That's
backstory, they put on their Instagram when LAFC was
And Twitter.
playing, Seattle. Hey,
Good luck, LAFC.
good luck, guys, right? And actually, the graphics are pretty dope too.
Yeah, the graphics are good.
And then the comment section was just like, "What? Go play in their stadium?
Right.
Canceling my season tickets." And that's not what they were trying to do. They weren't trying to pick a side. They were just trying to be like, "We're for LA.
Yeah.
We're for Kings. Whatever. Dodgers. You know what I mean?" And
Sure.
they just kind of I guess they did it a week too late. You know, they should have done it when it was.
Everybody's bitter, you know. All the Galaxy fans were bitter.
Yeah, I mean,
they just lost.
It was a hard time.
Yeah.
It was a tough time, and you know, a lot of us did not see when they tweeted it and put it up for against Minnesota, but it's there.
Yeah,
I mean, the timestamp that's there. I mean, they did the same thing for us, so we shouldn't be bitter. I mean, it doesn't. This is a different sport, man. Like you know, we can. A lot of us are rivals when it comes to soccer, and we'll like the Lakers or we like the Kings or Dodgers. So let's learn to live together.
Yeah, well, because again, this is like the first team that's from Los Angeles.
Well, I mean, the soccer teams are from LA.
Yeah, you're right, but
yeah,
well,
you're right.
Yeah, you know, Chivas 2.0, but
gotta represent LA.
Yeah.
Represent LA, always.
Yeah,
and they're playing in a good. I don't know. I like Dignity. It's a good.
It's gonna be a great seat. Every seat's gonna be a great seat. It's a beautiful stadium, great seat. Every seat. I mean, you're gonna have an experience like no other, and that's where we're adding it to that with the supporter group, with everything we're doing, and just how much fan interaction the coaches and the front office is going to allow the fans to have. I think it's going to be a great experience.
Yo, and on top of that, the Wildcats are super. They're already like meeting with people that do huge tailgates.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're meeting with like big tailgaters, and they're all about the tailgate culture.
Nice.
Yeah.
And another person who's not here, but who definitely is one of the founders of a supporter group of this, even of Wild Talk. The idea of the movement is Sam from Lars. He actually was supposed to meet us up today. You know, him and his girl, they make murals. They're big artists, so the Tifo game will be there.
Oh, nice. I was gonna ask about that. I was gonna be last week. We got banners, Tifos. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
We even. You know what? I don't want to get. I don't want to give away secrets, but we definitely have been kicking around not necessarily just Tifos for the games, but we're gonna basically promote banners and stuff getting made and have dope ass artwork. So once we stop recording, I'll tell you the idea. But
okay.
I don't want to
have some smoke bomb.
I don't want to put the cart before the horse. But you know, it is what it is. But yeah. So what you guys think about the podcast? The first one. Did you guys?
No, this is good. I think one of many. The future.
Yeah, I like it. Obviously, we have a lot to work with, and then when we have guests, we get closer to the season, the team's going to get solidified. We're going to be able to break down the positions, see what kind of talent we got. And then when we get out there into the training camps, dude, it's going to be – we're going to come back with so many notes.
I'm going to come with some wraparound glasses, the clipboard, the whistle.
He's gonna be
clipboard.
You're not going to let me in, dude. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
He's going to be covering his lips every time he talks.
Right? That's how we should do the podcast like that.
I'm walking around with headphones and shit.
But, you know, so follow us at WildTalk_LA on Instagram and Twitter, WildTalk_LA. Definitely tweet us questions for the podcast. Well, you know, in the next upcoming podcasts, we're going to, you know, be testing out, you know, reading questions or voicemails or maybe even taking calls.
Oh, nice.
We're definitely going to do some live, when it gets closer to the season, definitely do some live shows. Give the fans a chance to interact with us. Just like the Wildcats, we're going to be super fan friendly and we're going to interact with everybody. We're going to not only have guests that are coaches and players, but also super fans.
And we're going to have viewing parties too, right?
Yeah,
for
we're
the
going
away
to
games.
We're going to have viewing parties. If we don't go to the away, or even if we go to the away games, we're going to set up viewing parties for everybody.
So, definitely.
So yeah, I mean, so what are your guys' socials for people to follow you guys?
Well, you can follow me on Twitter at Gabe_Montoya13. Mostly do most
what was it 13 for?
Nah, that was my number playing in college.
Where'd you play in college?
At CSUN.
Oh yeah, soccer.
Yeah, soccer.
Oh,
So yeah, they can. I do most of my damage on Twitter. So at Gabe_Montoya13.
I love Twitter. Yeah, Chris Rico LA.
Yeah, Chris Rico LA and
or Chris Ricola.
Chris Ricola.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that more. I'll go with it.
Yeah, and Wild Talk_LA, I run that one. Or these guys will, you know, also we'll have takeovers or we'll let these guys tweet as well when we're at events and everything. So definitely hit us up on our socials, and we're gonna be coming up with a weekly podcast. So right now we're looking to drop midweek, but once it levels out, probably after episode 3 or 4, we're gonna be dropping the same day, pretty much. You know, probably
and then we're
try to drop on Tuesdays.
We're gonna have post game reports, right?
Yeah, so before the season starts, we're gonna record Sundays, try to drop Tuesdays, And once the season starts, we're going to have a shorter, condensed version during the week, and probably maybe even a live. Not sure yet. We're still working out the kinks. I'm going to have a after basically pros game show.
If we're sober.
Yeah. That show will be more
Or not.
yeah. That show will be more less like the fun stuff, more completely game analysis. And maybe take some player calls, some fan calls.
Now, where will they find this?
They'll be able to find the podcast in Apple Podcasts and Spotify and anywhere else you find podcasts. Also, we'll put the links up on our socials, and we'll be putting videos of the podcast on our YouTube channel, Wild Zone.
Wow.
Wild Talk.
Wild Talk.
Wild Talk.
Wild Talk.
All right,
It's
so,
funny. It actually sounds like Wild Talk could be like a dirty thing. Wild Talk.
Yeah. Everybody, welcome to the stage. Wild Talk.
It sounds like a Playboy show.
That's good. Yo, it's funny because if people don't know about the Wildcats, you're like, Wild Talk, what do you guys talk about? Some wild shit.
We're going to have all these one-time listeners.
They're like, I thought you guys would talk some wild shit.
Right. Well, sounds interesting. I might subscribe to this. And they hear football. They're like, oh, what the hell?
Some recklessly speculating football.
I probably shouldn't have people in lingerie on the cover of the podcast art. Damn,
that's good.
Yeah, you don't want to have me on there, dude. I'm not easy in the eyes.
It's just a football and a bottle of lube.
Wild Talk.
Wild Talk.
There's so many scenarios you can do with that. We're going to cut it off there. I'm sorry.
All right, guys. So I know Rico loves when I say this. Peace.
No, we're not ending with that, dude.
Rawr.